This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of August 31st, 2020. This is an incredibly active week astrologically, and all of it occurs with a force in the background that fuels frustration and exhaustion and anger and toddler-level personality disintegration. Mars, the planet that rules our action, is very slowly stationing to retrograde, which he will do next week. And he's barely moving at all this week. Mars prefers forward motion. He's in the sign of Aries, which really wants to just get going already. Mars slowing down in Aries increases everybody's sense of hot-headedness, of tempers that will go off at the slightest provocation, of just hitting your limit, of everybody making like Howard Beale in Network and throwing the windows open and screaming, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." But what they can do about it may not yet really be clear, and the avenues for that probably aren't presenting themselves just yet. It will be a challenge not to be affected by what is going on with other people. It will be a challenge not to take things personally. Early in the week, by the 1st, we do have some help in that regard when the planet of communication, Mercury, is in an easy flow to Pluto, the lord of all the stuff we don't want to look at, deep primal forces, death and rebirth. This facilitates extremely clear thinking, profound, revealing conversations, messages, and information, cutting away all kinds of stuff that just is not worth your time or effort, learning secrets, wrapping your head around the vast, pervasive, structural changes that have been going on all year in your own personal infrastructure and out in the world. This is the lead-in to the Pisces full moon on the 2nd, which escalates our sense of interconnectedness to everything in a good way or a bad way. It will be very difficult to not pick up what's going on with other people. You may be experiencing an emotional harvest or culmination that is due to greater circumstances than merely your own. You might feel like you're drowning. You might feel connected to God and nature and wondrous, creative, or angelic influences. And you will likely be extremely aware of rules, of separations, of obstacles, because Venus, which rules our relationships, is opposite Saturn in Capricorn. This moon has a paradoxical air of feeling at one with everything and yet being acutely aware of being apart from people and situations that are very dear to you. Unexpected insights, lucky breaks, different ways of going about things will happen on the turn of a dime, however. And it is highly probable that you will have effortlessly flowing organic conversations about some of this distance and about the burdens and the obligations. Seriousness, responsibility, somehow both of those filter into our thoughts and what we're talking about. There's a very strong probability of our minds and our thought processes getting grounded right after all of this with Mercury in a trine to Saturn. And then as we head into the weekend, we are hot to trot. We're hot to do something about all of this. All of the influences of the first part of the week converge in wanting something and how, and trying to force a situation to move. Venus, the ruler of all we desire, is in the challenge of a square with Mars, Lord of action, Lord of war, the guy who does her bidding. And a square is a demand for action. There'll be sparking, there may be arguments. This could be screwball comedy energy, could be really good for flirting, but the follow-through does not flow easily at all. Our minds are pretty clear about what we want. Our minds and our hearts are pretty much on the same page, but there's not a straight line from thinking what we want, knowing what we want, and trying to go get it. There are tweaks that are required, maybe in our thinking, maybe in our approach. And at the end of the week, we could be feeling, and we wouldn't be off, that the point of the whole week and the point of an awful lot of what is happening right now is learning patience. Homing thought of the week: pick your battles. Song of the week: Let It Go from Frozen. Yes, I've actually just said that. And the image of the week is a car spinning its wheels. If you'd like to learn more about what's going on with Mars, you'll find lots of information in my talk, Action Figures, which explains what's happening with him through the end of the year, and which is available at my site, empowermentunlimited.net, where you can sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. You'll find lots of bonus content at patreon.com/Kathy Beal, and I'm really grateful to the people who are supporting my work there. There's lively conversation on Facebook at Empowerment Unlimited and the group The Astro-Insight Lounge. I post all kinds of stuff on Instagram at @KABeal, and I'm on YouTube at The Professional Aquarian Channel. Talk to you next week.